Sandeep, next. Go ahead and share your screen. I'm really happy that person who was least confident today is able to present it fast.
So, sir, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, so sir, as per the template that was shared by you, the scope one is here stationary combustion 2000, mobile combustion 9200, and from fugitive sources it's 71,500. And in indirect, I mean scope two, there was just one activity which was there for which I think 90,000 was the calculation, and the one which is in bold, basically these are scope 3, and major contribution is the 50 lakhs that was spent. Business travel 14,000, car travel 13,000, employee computing is 60,000, and waste generation was just 200. So if we total this, uh, going to these are the scope 3 emissions, 1, 2 and 3.
Okay, not bad. Bharti ji.
Yes, sir. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, please go ahead. You can stop sharing. Good job done, Gaurav.
Thank you, sir.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So I started with this first page, and I was actually trying to fill in everything and trying to make a sense actually. So that's why the verification date, I don't know. So and then reporting period will be, sir, 1 year of the generally what, like it is calendar year which they follow, or a normal financial year?
It depends. If your reporting cycle is financial year, you will report on financial year. If your reporting cycle, means generally nowadays, BRSR compliant company has to do financial
Uh,
year, right?
Financial.
Because MCA filing is there
Correct.
14. So
Yes. Yes.
you have to do financial year, but you decided, no, I want to present in December because my parent company, as in your case was, is doing in
Huh.
December. Then you can put it your current year and
Okay.
provide that.
Okay. Fine.
But then the data has to be limited to that period only. That should
Oh,
you should be careful.
understood. But it is not possible, no, that it could be my financial year as per my financials are different from my ESG reporting year. It cannot be like that,
Ideally,
right?
it should not be. If you are not doing
It should.
quarterly, if you are doing, then it is possible, right? At least you have a quarter data, 3 quarters
Huh.
data, and you are putting this 1 year data. But again,
Huh.
comparison will be, a little difficult in that case. So you have to show 4 quarters of current year and
Huh.
then 4 quarters of this. You have to always show that again and again. So people do
Okay.
not
Okay.
do that. They follow only one.
Okay.
Or
Fine, sir.
if they are forced to, like somebody started only in January this year, they
Huh.
didn't started
Hmm.
in March, then they will show that. Then it is allowed.
Oh, yeah, okay. Fine, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Then, yeah. So this is the statistics, summary of the statistics of scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3. And that's it. Biological combustion, nothing is there. So I have not put anything there. Uh, then comes here the information of emissions, the stationary combustion, mobile, and the fugitive is there. And purchase electricity is there, scope 2 only, 90,000 rupees, 90,000 carbon equivalent. Then emission disintegrated by the facility, which is more than 10,000 rupees, so which only the refrigerative fugitive sources are eligible for that. So I put it. I'm asking you, so that is it correct? Like, because it is saying that it should be more than 10,000, so that's why I put that refrigerant emission.
21,500, isn't it?
No, it is 71,500. Others are less than 10,000. Like stationary combustion is less than 10,000, 2,000 rupees. Mobile combustion is also less than 10,000. So I didn't put it here. Emissions is aggregated by
No,
facility.
it is 71.5 thousand. It is
That's correct.
71.5 tons of CO2. Yes.
Okay, fine, sir. So this is thing by country specific. I have not shown emission attributable to the own generation nil. Emissions attributable to the generation of electricity and heat. Purchased one is 90,000 again. So this I try to fill in a little. Emissions GHG not covered in the Kyoto Protocol nil. This thing on the basis of the data which has been provided. So that is it.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Just logged in. Uh, okay. So who wants to go now? Bhaskar ji, you want to show where you were stuck?
No,
So
I think I've gone completely wrong. I'll just show you. I've taken a different this one.
okay.
I'll just try and share. I have gone in for a complete. This is the wrong format. What I've seen just now is a different one. So I tried to show it here and it got stuck. I was not able to move further.
Okay.
Are you able to see my screen? Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Is this the format itself is wrong, I think. I mean, what she had just now shown is a different one. I think I've gone in for a wrong one.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll just correct myself. This is not
Do
correct.
one thing, Bhaskar ji, then you have a penalty to do. You open the case now, share the case. You have the case study with you.
Yeah, that is ESG Pro, right? I'll just open it.
Yes, Zipro case.
I'll
Okay.
just open.
Case study. Share that and read out for all others because few more people have joined today just to see it. And then I
Yeah.
will give you the answer. First, let read out the case and the question, and then I
Yeah.
will use the answer, ideal answer, how it should be approached. Make sense? So you have a penalty to pay, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll just.
Sir, I had a question in this. Just actually, sir, Bhaskar sir has actually opened the calculator, so it came into my mind that in GSG protocol website there are certain calculators which are given for stationary combustion separately, for mobile combustion separately. So, can it is being used generally by the professionals? Like if yesterday I told you the case that I have to take care of BRSR of someone's company,
Who
so.
can use? In case the
Yeah.
data is clearly not available, you should
Uh-huh.
test the data with the calculator. Calculator used for the testing the data. Here, what I did is I gave you the data, right? This kind of data, you have to find it out. Sometimes company
Okay.
has, sometimes they do not have it. So
Okay,
ideally,
sir.
and it is always good to do a triangulation in this case. So do that
Okay.
triangulation with that calculator. It helps.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
And
Okay.
at least you will know what is there and what is not there. At least it will be a new learning.
Yeah. Okay.
Bhaskar ji.
Yeah, I'm just. I said no from another computer. I have to get it here. I've just got it now.
Take your time. Take your time.
Just 1 second. Is it visible now? Hello?
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bhaskar ji. Just read the case.
Yeah.
And then I
The
will.
case is yes. ESG Pro Private Limited is a small size edtech company specializing in ESG software development and ESG consulting services. Is this, you are able to hear my voice? Hello,
Yes.
can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. The company has made significant strides in reducing its direct and indirect emissions, but seeks a deeper understanding and management of its Scope 3 emissions. The company operates primarily from a single office location in an urban area with a small fleet of vehicles for employees' transport and business-related travel. Scope 1, direct emissions from owned or controlled sources. Stationary combustion. The company uses natural gas for heating purposes and for certain office activities such as cooking in a small cafeteria. The annual consumption of natural gas is about 10,000 cubic meters. The emission factor for natural gas, that's 0.2 kg CO2 equivalent per cubic meter of gas burned. Mobile sources, company-owned vehicles. ESG Pro owns 5 vehicles used for business purposes, transporting its employees and supplies. Total annual fuel consumption is about 4,000 liters of petrol. Emission factor for petrol is 2.3 kg CO2 equivalent per liter. Fugitive emissions, the company utilizes refrigerants for air conditioning and cooling in the office. Total refrigerant used is about 50 kg of R13A4, a commonly used refrigerant. Emission factor for R134A is 1,430 kg CO2 equivalent per kg of refrigerant. Indirect emissions. ESG Pro office is powered entirely by electricity sourced from local grid. Annual electricity consumption is about 1 lakh kilowatt. Emission factor for electricity is 0.9 kg CO2 equivalent per kilowatt grid mix. Purchased goods and services. Total expenditure on purchased goods and services is about 5,000. Emission factor for purchased goods and services 0.5 kg CO2 equivalent per rupees 1 spent, industry average it is. Business travel. Total business travel mileage in flights is about 70,000 and car travel is about 1,30,000 kilometers. Emission factors, flights, it's 0.2 kg CO2 equivalent per kilometer. Car travel is 0.1 kg CO2 equivalent per kilometer. Employee commuting is about total number of employees is 100. Average two-way distance traveled by each employee daily 20 kilometers. Total number of working days in a year is about 250. Average emission factor for commuting is about 0.12 kg CO2 equivalent per kilometer. The fourth one is waste generated in operations. The total waste generated is about 1,000 tons. It's 0.2 kg CO2 equivalent per ton of waste. Question. The first one is, what is the emission from company's stationary combustion natural gas usage in tons of CO2 equivalent? The second one is, what is the emission from company's fleet of vehicles, petrol usage in tons of CO2 equivalent? Third is, what is the emission due to refrigerant leakage in tons of CO2? These are scope 1 emissions. Scope 2, what is the emission from company's electricity consumption in tons of CO2 equivalent? And gas, and scope 3 is emission calculations. What is the emission due to flight business travel in tons of CO2 equivalent? What is the emission due to car travel for business purposes in terms of CO2 equivalent? What is the emission due to employee commuting in tons of CO2 equivalent? What is the emission due to waste generated in operations in terms of CO2 equivalent? The total emissions, what is the total scope of 1 in emission in terms of CO2 equivalent? What is the total scope 2 emission in terms of CO2 equivalent? What is the total scope 3 emission in terms of CO2 equivalent? Wow.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope you didn't mind it reading for all.
No, not at all. Not
Okay,
at all.
good. Okay, so quickly, can you stop sharing your screen so I can
Yeah,
share my
yeah,
screen
I'll just stop.
to everyone the correct way to answer it? Of course, everybody got what they are supposed to do. Anybody who has a confusion, specifically uh, Rajni ji and Presley, are you confused with anything here? Simple,
आपको
right?
कैलकुलेट करना है ना, वो सीधा
Simple.
कंजम्पशन इनटू एमिशन फैक्टर
Absolutely. Presley.
आपको दिया था, बहुत सारा सवाल भी दिया था एग्जाम में.
Absolutely. Here we are just doing in a case study format. How to do it? Of course, ideally, you should put it into a template, which Bharti was showing. That's how it goes. But first, you have to do your backhand calculation, like Gaurang and Bhaskar and Subodhji, sorry, Rameshji. Yeah, we're trying to do it. Here is the ideal answer. This is how it works. If I have to do, I will do a rough calculation behind and then I will bring that into the main sheet. So I will start with question number 1, which is asking for emission from company stationary combustion. Now already they have given us, there is a natural gas consumption of 10,000 cubic meters. There is an emission factor which is available. If it is not, what is the solution? Everyone, quick. Where I will find this? Where will I find emission factor? Am I audible?
DEFRA.
DEFRA. I will go to DEFRA, IPCC or CEC. I will get that number, put it here. What is that number? 0.2 kg carbon dioxide equivalent per cubic meter. So 1 cubic meter is 0.2. So 10,000 cubic meter, just put this formula and you have answered 2,000 kgs of CO2. But always remember, bring it to tons. Try to do it in tons. If the numbers are very small, of course, it will be difficult for you because then decimal, double decimal, triple decimal will come. But in this case, as the numbers are really good, you should convert into tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. That's the first suggestion. Okay. Because answers generally are in tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. So what is the answer? Everybody got it correct. 2 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. Second, emission from company fleet of vehicles, specifically petrol users in India. We need to find that out. What did we do? We look into total fuel consumption, which is 4,000 liter given of petrol used in vehicle. Then emission factor of 2.3 kg carbon dioxide equivalent per liter. That's a number we will get from DEFRA, IPCC or CEC or industry specific data. And what we will do, we will multiply that 4,000 into 2.3 kilograms carbon dioxide equivalent per liter and I get an answer of 9,200 kg. Convert that into tons. Again, that's another suggestion. Then comes emission due to refrigerant. 50 kgs already we have that number and it's a direct number coming from the fire extinguisher and it's a commonly used fire extinguisher. So we multiply that with the emission factor. You see emission factor is really large here. That's why the number came very big. So don't get confused because this is which kind of gas? Hydrofluorocarbons are there, methane is there, all of those are here. Okay. And they have a GWP in excess of 7,000 plus, 10,000, 16,000. So naturally this number will be higher. Okay. Even though it's smaller factory. So 71.5 tons. Scope 2. When I come to scope, this was another trick side that you have to differentiate between scope 2 and 3. We know scope 2 is what? Purchased electricity, purchased steam, purchased heat. Here we have given electricity consumption. So that is the one. They have consumed 100,000 of kilowatt hour. Multiply by, again, you will check in DEFRA, CEC. CEC will be best for India. For Kenya, you have to find their local body who must have published. And we will find that for you if you need and send it to you. And that comes out to be 90,000 kgs. Convert into tons, you have 90 tons carbon dioxide equivalent. Scope 3 is a critical one. Here we have 3 data coming from flight, business travel, car travel, and emission due to employee commuting, waste generated from operation, right? And then these are the 5 things which we had. Now, what we need to be careful here, so all of them are scope 3 different category, but there is some category which is common. For example, flight business travel and car travel for business purposes. You need to combine these together. You calculate it separately, but combine these together for category reporting. Or do you have in mind you can report it in different category here? It's the same category, right? Business travel is a category and employee commute is a category. You can keep it two categories here out of 3. So 13 plus 14 you have to add. That becomes 27 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. And in this case, employee category, of course, here what we have done, we have taken average. We do not have exact data, right? There is no exact data available. So we have taken average distance per employee who are traveling to my company. Two-way, I have considered 10 kilometer coming, 10 kilometer going. We have assumed also total number of working year, which is 250. In that case, how many employee? 100 employee. And then we have a emission factor coming from different sources. Again, you multiply those, you calculate 60 ton. Again, a large number. Then comes emission due to waste generated in operation. You have waste generated 1000 ton, emission factor is given in DEFRA. Take that, multiply it, and you have a number 0.2 tons of carbon dioxide emission. Now, total of scope 3, you add all these 5. So 2 tons of stationary, scope 1, those 2 tons of stationary, 9.2 tons of mobile, and 71.5 tons of fugitive. Total is how much? 82.7, which everybody got. Then is total of scope 2 emission. Scope 2 emission total is 90 tons because only one item, 90 tons. In scope 3, you have three different categories which you need to add. I have done separately 4 and then added it together for a scope 3, which is 87. Now you see overall total emission. I can always report overall total emission, which is 259, but also I have to highlight scope 3, scope 1, and scope 2 separately. This is the summary which I have created, which will go into your Excel sheet or the template which I have shared with you guys. You got it? This is the normal step I will do. I will make my analyst to show his work. Why? Because there are chances we can make mistake. Excel is not foolproof. Yeah. So ask him to show his work in an Excel sheet. You need not to do in a Word. Get the summary there and then start preparing the report. Am I clear?
ये कौन सी report है sir which you were mentioning?
Achha, there is a template of GHG
That you
protocol.
had not shown us.
We will give it to you. Bharti ji, do you have?
Yes, sir, I have.
Can you show it once more and I will just
Yeah.
explain. So good you came, you got benefited now, better than Subodh ji and Ramesh ji and all the other people.
This is the template.
This is
Yeah,
the
I
template.
just missed it actually.
Go to the first page. Bhaskar ji to have it. Okay. So this is the GHG protocol template. Of course, you have to put the company logo for whom you are preparing. So it is a ESG Pro Mastery Institute. So you have to put that. End of year, you have to put that. You have to put a date of verification. Now, this is the verification. Either you should be getting done by third party accreditation or as a head of the department, you should do your own self. Yes or no? If it is accredited third party, then you put yes. If not, you put no, and still you put the date of verification, which is internal, right? You have to put verifier name, which will be you, email and phone number of that person, so he can be contacted in case of confusion. Yeah. And this is not an official template. Let me be very clear, written very clearly. This has been supported by GHG protocol. It's not actual one. Okay. You can decide your own template, but this gives a starting point for a lot of you. So required information, this is what you remember, Bharti, I told you that every time we change 20%
Yeah.
of the course, this is what is
Okay.
happening.
Okay.
So
Okay.
every time somebody will come, they will get Rajni ji, you remember I told you that every time we bring course, it has never been same. It will be always something new.
Always with a change.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that is the
Okay.
20%. But you will get benefited because you attended. So Sandeep will send you this. Okay, so reporting and Presley as well. Presley you will also get. So you have to put that, what is the time period? So here you should be very careful. If you are taking CY, put CY dates. If you are putting FY, put FY date, because a lot of company only does for 6 months, 3 months, 9 months, 10 months. depending upon the data which they have in their hand. Okay, or the data which can be verified, that also need to be seen.
तो जो
If
कैलकुलेट
you
किया है वो यहाँ भर देना है राइट
absolutely that date, organization boundary, equity share, financial control, operational control, which one you have decided, you need to write that. Then operational boundary comes in. Scope 1, of course, whatever backend calculation I have done, you see, Bharti, I have not asked you to correct it, but this need to be corrected. Why? Because it's a metric
Okay.
ton of carbon dioxide equivalent. You cannot put 82,
Yes.
8.2. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
why that proof of work is required. So you have one more step to cover. In
Okay.
our case, and even in GHG protocol, it is clearly optional. Scope 3. Guys, can you see that? That is why you have to put as an optional item, but you have to clarify that. Then, of course, base year data, if you have, you will put that. Go down, please. And then methodology, what you are using, and these are the optional information, which is in the bottom. You have to fill which organization, how much of equity share, etc., etc. All that you need to put. Then this is also optional, where we have already calculated. You have the data, put into metric ton, all the data, change it. Very good. I liked you put 0 where you don't have data rather than keeping it blank, because that can confuse the auditors. So, and you are auditors, so you know better to put 0 than not filling it up. Okay, and then 71.5, and if you have nil, you put nil, and then 90,000, and these all come from that show of work which we did. Clear?
Got it. Now what?
Simple, sweet, and good exercise we have done.
This has been made by ASG Pro, or you have some
No.
ready-made?
This is we have referred from GHG protocol, but they do not own it. So it like I am sharing with you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, everyone. We will not waste any further time. We will meet again at 7 o'clock today. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.